Hello, welcome to Real Frank Movie Reviews. Thanks for checking the channel out. In this episode, we're going to take a look at the new movie Top Gun Maverick. We will be talking about spoilers, so if you haven't seen it and you want to see it first, check it out and come back and watch this episode. We're going to compare with my special guest. My special guest is a very, very special guest. I'm so excited to have him on the show. A very first here. This person and I will go through the movie, compare it to the first one, things we liked, things we didn't like, and how we think they did to tie it all together. All that coming up next. Real Frank. All right, my special guest reviewer. This is such a big honor for me at Real Frank Movie Reviews. The one and only Tom Cruise, everybody. Tom Cruise is here. Tom Cruise, welcome to the show. Such an honor, Tommy, that you could take time out of your world press tour and join us. Talk about your movie, Tom.
It's great to see you, man.
Salvatore, thank you so much for joining the show. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Top Gun Maverick. Obviously, the original was a big fan following hit. It's kind of has this legacy. So they try to follow up these icon movies with, I don't know, a sequel, reboot type of thing here. So what did you think? Well, before you say anything, can you tell our audience what the movie was about?
Like the sequel was about?
Yeah, the synopsis of this one.
Well, it seems like it kind of starts with Tom Cruise as Maverick as kind of like the old dog, kind of in present day, working on his craft. They open it up of him in some kind of hangar. It's like almost kind of like a hippie deal where he kind of is shacked up in his like little trailer, sits up in a hangar working on an old plane, and you can kind of see old memorabilia pop up, pictures of him and Goose. Brings out the bomber jacket, brings out the motorcycle, the whole deal. Gets you in your feels. And he's working on some kind of plane and flight technology that he can break the sound barrier between 9 and 10 Mach, and becomes issues with authority as we can see.
What a surprise. What a surprise, Tommy.
So that kind of progresses on to him actually getting it done. Against orders, and then him getting, a little bit of a spanking and getting sent out. Either he was going to get fired, and then an old friend calls it a favor, and he gets sent back to Top Gun again.
All right.
Some secret mission.
Yay. Now, it's okay. Yeah. I already warned the audience before this movie review started that we were going to talk about spoilers. I mean, it is what it is, right? I'm sure most of it
is what it is. Spoiler alert.
That's right. Spoiler alert.
Things about anyways.
That's right. So, were you impressed?
I was extremely impressed. How do I say this? The expectations were, given with the history of remakes in the past, especially with movies as old as this one, it's like you don't think that they have the kind of gall to pull something off to kind of appeal to the audience from then and now. And I'm telling you, they really hit a home run on this. They didn't work out. They didn't oversell it, and they make it too cheesy, too many innuendos or anything like that. Like, nods to the old movie, but it was perfectly placed. Great storyline. The characters nailed it, and the new characters really fit in well.
Well, I'm not surprised that Tom would like his own movie. Salvatore Tom.
Oh, no, of course not.
But I got to be honest with you. I wasn't impressed.
No.
Yes. I was not impressed with this movie. To me, this movie felt like, all right, here's the script from the first one, right? Here's the script. And then what we're going to do is we'll change this, and change this. Boom, here's our movie. That's what it felt like to me. Tom's got a love interest. Why does he fucking need another love interest? And why is she driving a Porsche? She's got to drive a Porsche like the old one, too. He's got a new version of a Porsche. Got to have a love interest. Why? Why can't he just be? He's a deadbeat loser. He's been in the military 30 years. He's only a captain. Get rid of her. We don't need no love interest.
Because it's Tom Cruise, man. He can't be going out not like the top guy in there now.
I'm just saying this was disgusting. Like, I was so annoyed. Everything was basically the same. They changed a few things. He's teaching about the secret mission to help train these new pilots for the secret mission because he's about ready to get kicked out because the Iceman saved his ass. Now tell me you didn't see that Iceman was going to die. You saw it coming, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. And then the whole thing with breaking the rules. He's such a lawbreaker. If that was true in the military, his ass would have been out a long time ago. Military ain't going to take that shit. No matter how good you are.
Mm-hmm.
And then the whole... Did we really need the football beach volleyball thing? You know?
I know. I had to,
That's what I'm saying.
You had to appease all the audiences.
Blueprints, right? Hey, we had a volleyball.
Oh, yeah.
He's the Hollywood exec.
Yeah.
We had a volleyball scene. Shirts. They loved it. Guys and gals. So let's do something different. What can we do to get the shirts on? Oh, football on the beach, because everyone plays football on the beach near the coastline there where water is hitting them and trying to run in the sand and catch balls. Oh, and girls play this too. They actually had a girl pilot. She's playing football too with the guys. It's crazy.
Hey, man. Everyone's involved now. But you know what? I could see that, though. Like, right from the beginning, when they just started with the same tone, like with the same movie tone, just like from the first movie. I'm like, okay, this is cool to get them to get nostalgic feel. But I can see your side, too. We're just like, all right, are we just going to do the same thing all over again?
Exactly.
Or will we just break the mold a little bit?
I have no problem sticking to the same tone, beginning, the intro, like a continuation. Fine, I get that, right?
Yeah, right.
Because Top Gun was great. But to copy it with the whole beach and football thing, to those type of, and his love interest, I mean, change it up. We want to see the connection to the first movie, obviously, right? We do. We got Rooster, right? Rooster's there.
Yeah.
And why does Rooster need a mustache? We get it. He's Goose's son. Why does Rooster need a mustache too?
They want to make sure that he's his son. They want to know. So they want to draw that parallel, like, all right, this is Goose's son. You can't mistake it.
Exactly.
The Hawaiian shirt with the wife beater on, with the glasses, and so there's like they had to there was no mistake. This was his son.
No mistake, and they even had to shove it down your throat, having him play the same song on the piano with the whole bar.
I liked it. Even though, you know what, 90% of the people today, and if you play that in a bar, nobody would be like, all right, I don't know what this song is. What is this?
They're shoving it down your throat. I'm going to make sure this is Goose's son. He sings a song like his dad, plays the piano like his dad, and get the whole bar.
It was a tender moment. That was pure Hollywood. You gotta respect it. That was pure Hollywood.
And pure Hollywood. Someone at a bar is not gonna be pissed because they unplugged the jukebox to listen to some guy play on a piano a 1960s song. No one's gonna be pissed about that. Alcoholic men raging around at a bar. No one will be mad. Crazy.
Yeah.
All right. So
I enjoyed the moment.
You like that, huh?
I get it.
And then what about that Hangman character? We had to have a character similar to Iceman. I mean, was that necessary?
Oh, yeah. It was so blatant too. It was just so like blatant. That cocky, just the man's man.
And the smiling. Guy. I'm so cocky.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, that kind of thing. Just the doubtful guy. It's just like, oh, Rooster's here. Oh, I don't respect you. You're not better than me. That kind of stuff. Just the same kind of deal from the first movie.
Right.
But it was, he ended up redeeming himself later on because Iceman in the first one, obviously we all know that he was the one that kind of needed the help to begin with, and ended up being like the number two, if you will. But in this case, this guy in this one came out and actually saved the day. He actually seemed like he was a decent guy at the end. But you know what? It's whatever. It's Hollywood.
And that's my thing, right? That's the little tweak, right? Tweak. That's the little tweak. Here's the screenplay for the original. Tweak it. We'll tweak it a little bit. We'll have this asshole, confident. He's not an asshole. He's this confident, cocky guy. Instead of he being number one, we'll make him number two. And instead of him needing to be saved, he will save them.
Yes.
That's
it's little tweaks that makes the movie work.
And then I don't know about you, but I know Tom likes to smile in his movies. But his smiling in this movie was.
His two front teeth drive me absolutely nuts. I just can't do it. It's that one tooth that sits directly below his nose line.
Yeah.
And you can't look away. You can't look away.
Well, how can you? It's in your face the entire movie.
It's the entire movie. Let's not forget the fact that little intro he did at the beginning before the movie even started.
Yes. Oh.
It's like, hey, look at me. Just before you watch me, here's me talking about me again. So, hi.
Oh, it's crazy. The most amazing part of this movie was that this movie was made 4 years ago. 4 years ago.
Yes.
Isn't that crazy?
I know. I think about that a lot, how much it got pushed back because of COVID, and I was like, oh my God. I remember keep seeing in the news. Because it was supposed to come out, like 2019 or something like that.
Yeah.
And it just kept being pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. And my dad and I are big Top Gun fans, and we were looking forward to this. So every time we'd see it, we'd just keep being like, what the hell? Freaking COVID. But I guess it was Tom Cruise's doing that kept pushing it back. He wanted it to be in theaters.
But it's just
because he didn't want it to be streamed. He didn't want any of that stuff. He wanted it since it came out in '86, a timeless classic. It should be released like that, to be, in theaters and nothing else. So he didn't want to do the whole streaming thing. So,
and he wanted the back end money also. I'm sure he got back end money.
Oh, I'm sure he had that in his contract to get percentage sales and gross sales and all that stuff. So, I'm sure he worked that in. He goes, no, I'm going to squeeze this puppy for all I got. Behind the curtain, no, this needs to be shown to the world by everybody who can go see it. You know what I mean?
For sure. And what's funny, I noticed too, I don't know if you noticed, like you said, he introed the movie, right? And if you looked at his face, you could see in that when he entered that 4 years had gone by, right? Versus, he was all wrinkly, a little wrinkly more, and in the movie he looked a little younger. Man, that 4 years makes a huge difference.
It does. It definitely does.
Man, that is insane. Now, I do have to admit, all the plane footage in this movie was spectacular. Spectacular. Like, never seen anything like it. So.
Nope.
Pulls you in, like you felt you were flying. The sounds, the footage, amazing.
Just the reaction of them taking full G's to their face, and just, it was incredible. I think that would, if they didn't do that, if they would have just done CGI, it wouldn't have been as good of a movie as it was. And I think that was him too. He really he pushed for that to be using actual fighter jets.
Yeah.
For that, because he was like, no, we're not doing this if it's CGI. I don't want to do that. Because I think in the first movie, they didn't do that. They just used plain footage and then them in like a simulator doing the scenes. That's what I looked up when I saw it. But there's a nice little fit that you could actually see them making the turns, taking the G's, doing the flips.
Through the cockpit window, you can see behind them and stuff, and then their head jerking when they take off.
Yeah.
Because that's not acting. That's like real.
Nope, you take it. But the interview, it's been so fascinating to listen to those interviews. Just like every one of those actors doing those puked at every single time. You always had a bag on you. They all puked. They all took the full G's, and you had to be trained for it. It's ridiculous.
I could see why you puke, man. I couldn't even fathom what that feel like.
I could do it. I can't even do roller coasters. Put me one of those things. I'll puke before we take off.
All right. So what was your favorite part in the movie? Your favorite part?
Probably the third act when they get the well, I don't know. Oof. I would say between Tom being the rebellious one and just stealing a plane and just doing the mission as like a simulator to prove it could be done. That was like a put my nuts on the table kind of thing. Like, all right, I still got it. You guys could do this kind of thing. I thought that was really cool. But then the third act, where you think the movie's just leading up to be done after they get the mission, they finish it, and then it goes to those SAMs shooting off at the planes, and then they have to do evasive maneuvers to where you get another half hour of movie, another storyline where it kind of like flips you around. They had the, Tom crashes, Rooster goes back and gets them. They both crash. They find a plane. They steal it. They come back home and they fight another Meg on the way out. I thought that was my favorite part. That really put the icing on the cake for the movie for me.
So I'm glad you brought up that whole part of this third acting, because to me, when I give my score, had Tom gets shot down, crashes, and he died. He died there. If he dies there, whole another score, whole another movie for me. Hold on, because I would have never seen that coming. I'd be like, oh shit.
Higher or lower? Higher or lower?
Way higher, because I'd be like, oh shit. They killed Maverick. Oh shit. That would have changed everything for me. But then after that, he gets sad, and then it became, oh yeah, he's gonna live, and he's gonna be cocky again, and he's gonna die with shriveled balls on an Air Force or Navy base and stuff. Had he died though, I would have been like, oh my God, this is an amazing movie. But Tom can't die in his own movie, can he? Tommy can't die.
No, he can't. And especially not as Maverick.
Exactly, because we need a
he
third
can kill
one.
everybody else around him, but he can't die himself.
He can't die. He can't die. Oh man, yeah. So the movie ended with Maverick took the missile for Rooster, which he should have died. Then the helicopter comes. Rooster saves Maverick, right? Perfect timing. And then my other part I have issues with is they just walk onto an Air Force base at our base they just struck it.
Yep, just casually just struck onto a missile-ridden air base with nobody.
Nobody just got bombarded, no one's, and this plane is unscattered, this plane from the original movie that he happens to know how to fly.
Nobody knows, and nobody is accounting for this plane just sitting there untouched the entire time.
The entire time, and oh man, it's all fueled, ready to go. Just pump this, do this, and we're off.
Put this oxygen in, and we're good. Just
we're good.
Put the oxygen in, and we're good.
We're good, everybody. Yeah. And it's like I said, if he would have died, new movie for me. New movie for me. Well, how about that?
Okay.
His wardrobe hasn't changed in 30-something years either. He's got the white T-shirt and the jacket.
Not. Of course not. You can't have a different outfit.
You don't think so?
They gotta make it. They gotta make sure you're watching Top Gun. You gotta have the whole. You gotta have the bomber jacket. You gotta have the aviators.
Gotta have it all.
Have the jeans. Yeah.
It's standard Navy issued white T-shirt and bomber jacket.
Absolutely, yeah. They have those things on a line. They just hand them out.
Now, my other thing too, I don't know if you recall, they kind of showed it when Rooster was a child, and I was surprised they showed it. He had blonde hair, and you look at Miles Teller, who's playing Rooster. He doesn't have blonde hair.
It's like a dirty blonde. It's like it's darker. It's majority darker with a little sprinkled blonde in.
So it's almost like they said, all right, we might get called out on this. So Miles, you're going to have to dye your hair a little bit, put some highlights in it to look like it got changed over time.
Get some of that California sun on it, and you'll be all right.
That's right. There you go. We'll fix this up because we want you to be Rooster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, how are they going to handle that? But I saw the highlights and stuff.
Yeah, I think they did it well. With that. I mean, when you look at it, because I'm not a big Miles Teller fan, I think the guy's, like a potato of an actor. Like,
really?
He does this thing. He walks in and he just kind of like does this thing where he just has that face like, yeah, I'm Miles. Let's work. It's just, I was just like, oh, great. They're going to have this guy on here. I'm like, it's going to be such a flaccid role for him. And he came in and he they made him look like Goose. You couldn't mistake it. You're like, all right, I could see where you can get Goose from this guy. And it's like, all right. And then he actually did well with the role. So I was eating my words. I was like, all right, I can still see the kind of like the old Miles in there, but I could see he actually came into his own a little bit here.
I didn't know you're not a Miles Teller fan. I'm a fan of his. Not
a huge fan. I mean, I'm watching him right now in The Offer, and I think he's doing all right. But it's the same kind of same kind of deal. He's being himself. Just I don't think he's actually even bringing any life to the role. It's just kind of like he's just telling the story.
So like Tom Cruise, like acting like Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is always like himself.
No, Tom Cruise plays Tom Cruise.
Yeah, and Morgan Freeman.
Tom Cruise is an icon. He's been in the game for years, so it's like you gotta respect him a little bit. He's done a lot of work.
Like Morgan Freeman playing Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman is the same Morgan Freeman in every movie.
Oh yeah. Every actor plays himself, but it's just like you gotta have some kind of spark to the role. He doesn't really have much of a spark to me.
You didn't even like him in the one where he's a drummer with J.K. Simmons.
Which one was that?
I forget.
Which one was that?
He's a drummer in this elite school for drumming, and J.K. Simmons.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh, dude, you guys.
If J.K. Simmons is in it, then it's got to be a good movie.
It is a fantastic movie. That's where I fell in love with him in that movie because his acting was great.
Okay.
In that.
Okay.
He becomes like this obsessed drummer, and he wants to be like the best drummer. And J.K. Simmons is the teacher, like this hardest teacher, crazy teacher. You have to see. I wish I knew the name off the top of my head, but I can't think of it.
I'll look it up.
All right.
Yeah, I'll definitely take a look at it.
So, anything else we missed that you want to talk about?
Other than Jennifer Connelly is still a dime piece at her age.
Peggy, we had to have another one. Like I said, another one of those girls.
Oh, Peggy.
Yeah.
She's just one of those girls. The girl next door, man.
Yeah.
Is she the one that they were... I couldn't tell if that was like the alluding... When they were talking about their connection to each other. Is she the Admiral's daughter that they were alluding her to at the beginning of... Okay, I wasn't sure.
I had to look it up just to be sure.
I was like, wait a minute.
They hinted at it, but they didn't come out.
Where's she fit into all this?
Yeah. I had to read it after we saw it, and I saw it there.
Okay.
So they could tie that storyline in there.
I was hoping, I was hoping if all these parallels that they were going to do the Lost That Love and Feeling somehow, but they never did it.
Thank God.
When a guy put on the music at the jukebox, I read that the number that he chose in the jukebox was the release date of Top Gun, the first one, 8/6.
Oh.
So that was like one of the nods for there too. But I was hoping, I was like, all right, 8/6, is it going to be that song, Lost That Love and Feeling? Like, nope, never was. So I was like, all right, okay, you had a chance there.
Thank God for me. I would have threw up in my mouth. That would have been awful.
It just wouldn't have worked.
Oh,
it just wouldn't have worked.
Then you'd been like shoehorned again.
Too much.
Yes. We talked about special effects and everything, how amazing the flying footage, everything. My one complaint visually, one complaint when I come back to this, so I just popped another thing. When he's running towards Rooster and they're in the forest, that's when I first noticed CGI or problem. They're standing in the winter forest, and it looked like CGI to me, like a green screen. I don't know if you recall when he gets there to Rooster and they're standing there talking, and you look at the background, it didn't. My only complaint, it's minor. It's very minor.
I didn't catch that. The most CGI I looked at was when Tom was being chased. Excuse me, by that helicopter. That was the most CGI that I saw in that.
Yeah.
Because I saw, like, you could just tell that it wasn't a real copter going after him, and he gets lit up by that missile. You're like, all right, that would never happen. So It's like, all right.
And then one thing
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, well, the other thing I noticed, I don't know, Tommy must have in his contract that you have to film me running. Every movie I must be running.
Yeah.
Every movie. I can't think of a movie where he doesn't do a sprint. Do you know of any movies?
He's a wild thing. No, absolutely not. He's always running. He's always running. He's always exerting himself. I don't know if he's just trying to prove to people that he's not old so he can get more parts or what. I don't know what it is. That's why he's taking on all these deadly stunts and driving ass airplanes and, I don't know, motorcycles. I don't know.
Do you think he gets a
He's
script?
A wild man.
They give him a script. He reads the script. He goes, where am I running? Where's my running scene? I need my running scene.
Yeah, probably. I can see it.
Well, how about we put this?
I can't even imagine it being in a room with him and Jerry Bruckheimer and just being like, all right, Tom, here's the script. And he's just like, all right, well, I'll be back. And he just comes in, writes in pictures of him running in this paragraph, in this paragraph, in this paragraph, in this paragraph. I can see it.
He comes in running,
like,
though. He comes in running to the room.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. No problem. I got it.
All right, so let's go ahead and score this. Overall, what do you score this movie?
Well, I feel like I'm disappointed that you aren't on the same level as me, but I give it at least a 9. I think it was really good.
A 9?
At least a 9 to 9.5. As far as remakes go, I think this is a summer blockbuster for sure for him.
So a solid 9.0?
Coming out with, what's that?
Solid 9.0?
I said solid 9.0, possibly a 9.5. I think it's very good, very well done. I came in with high expectations for the remake because it was, it's a favorite of mine. And I think they did it well. I think they did it justice, and they didn't really stink on it. I think they gave it just the right amount. They gave Val Kilmer his spotlight as he was going through a rough time. Gave him a good part. John Hamm was a good addition. I like John Hamm a lot. And Jennifer Connelly's always a win when you put her in. And then the supporting cast with like the pilots, they did a good job too. They weren't like too much. They weren't too little. They weren't, you gotta love Bob, the old glasses Bob, kid pilot, or he's like a navigator. But he was good too. He was funny. But I would say 9.5. I would go see it again. I can't wait for it to come out.
What do you think Bob stood for? Hangman made a joke about it, but what do you he said that wasn't it.
I read something and I forgot what Bob meant, but there's something behind it for sure.
Okay.
Do you know what it is?
No, that's why I was curious.
Okay. I figured I read something and that's what it was about.
All right, so you give it I'm going to go with 9 if that's all right with you, just so I can put something in the scorecard. 9?
That's fine.
Or you want 9.3, 9.4?
Give me 9.4.
9.4, son of a bitch. All right. Overall, I score this movie.
I think let me see. Let me make my prediction. I think my score for you is going to be like a 6.5.
You're close. I give this one a 5.6.
Oh my God! You're always the pisser. You're always the pisser.
I'm sorry. If Maverick dies when he saves Rooster's life, game changer, right? I don't see it coming. That typical Hollywood ending there. He's dead. Oh my God! They killed fucking Maverick. My mind would have went crazy. I didn't see it coming. Who knew? Who knew? Oh my God! And then they're mourning him. There's another funeral. They put a plaque or whatever.
Yeah.
Be crazy, right? And then they show his girly Peggy ball. Fantastic movie. But yeah, that's right. We got little Maverick.
Because he never had a family. He never had a future. So it's like that would have been a good one too.
Yeah.
She shows up at the funeral, holding her belly.
Holding her belly. He got one last poke in before he bit it.
When he jipped out of the house, tried to sneak out, the daughter caught him.
That's right. So you give it a 9.4. Are you going to go see it again?
I'm good with that.
All right. You going to go see it again in the theater? You going to go take your dad?
What's that?
You going to take your dad to go see it again?
My dad actually went to go see it. So I think if he wants to see it again, I'd go with him. But I think if he wants to wait till it comes out on stream, we'll come get it. I'll get it on Apple TV or something.
Did he like it?
He loved it. My parents both loved it.
Really?
Yeah, they did. They're not as pessimist like you, man. They like the feel-good movies.
It's not pessimist. It's just I want a new movie. I get the throwbacks, but I don't need. Here's the script. Let's tweak here, tweak here, tweak here, tweak here. That's what I'm saying. That's all it was.
It's okay. They're gonna make a shit ton of money on it. They're gonna make a shit ton of money on it, and they're gonna get a good PR from it for sure.
For sure.
That's gonna be that's the thing. And Jerry Bruckheimer did a good job. He came in and did what he was supposed to do. If anybody else would have made a stinker of the movie.
You're right. All right. Salvatore gives it 9.4. I give it a 5.6. That's our review for Top Gun Maverick. Thanks for watching.